Are you a current or future physician assistant wanting to learn more about finances? Then join me on this journey to become a PA the FI way. Hi, my name is Kat, and I'm a practicing certified physician assistant who will be your host. It took me 5 years after I started practicing medicine as a PA to thoroughly dive into my personal finances after I discovered the concept of financial independence. I want to use what I have learned to help you avoid some of the financial mistakes that I have made while sharing some of the financial wins that I have had along the way. Join me as we discuss financial strategies to guide you to becoming a physician assistant on the way to financial independence. Welcome back, everyone, to the PA the FI Way podcast. I'm your host, Kat, and in this episode, I'm going to share how you can fire your financial advisor if that is something that needs to be done. And yes, the pun was intended. And I promise to do my absolute best to come across as to not being completely salty in this episode. But as I've shared in past episodes, I have been burned by a quote-unquote financial advisor in the past, and I want to help others get out of that situation if they are in it. But one of the main points of this podcast is to empower you to become your own financial advisor, at least for the first several years as you are learning about the different types of accounts and investing and paying off your debt. And perhaps in the future, if your financial situation gets more complex, or you have many different types of investments, you're becoming entrepreneurial, have real estate investing, other businesses, maybe at that point, you seek out wise financial help from a professional. So before I share about how to fire a financial advisor, let's first discuss what are some red flags to look for and what bad financial advisors would actually recommend. So this isn't necessarily an all-inclusive list, but it can get your mind turning a little bit to think about if you have come across this. So one of the main things that bad advisors recommend is high-fee investment products. And the reason why is because often with those high fees come high commissions for them to sell the product to you. Those high fees and commissions that your advisor is getting instead of staying in your investments overall really erodes the compound interest potential their investments would actually have over time. And this could be a costly mistake, making you lose out on several six figures at least of money over the years. Another concerning thing that a bad financial advisor would recommend is churning. So churning is where the advisor recommends that you buy and you sell lots of different investments and securities in your account. And again, one of the reasons why they often recommend this is because they can get commission off of that at times. Well, it unfortunately leads to additional costs and tax consequences for you. And generally, churning does not actually increase your overall value of your portfolio and instead makes your investment performance worse. Another thing that a bad financial advisor might suggest for you is investments that just really are not suitable for your specific situation or your specific risk tolerance or your overall financial goals. They might be really pushy and suggest really complicated things for you or really speculative ventures. Or on the flip side of things, they also might suggest things that are just way too conservative. If you are overall young, they might suggest a ton of bonds. Another red flag is if they don't suggest that you diversify your portfolio. Broad-based index funds are self-diversifying, which are really nice, and only one of the reasons why that simple type of investment is ideal for many people. But poor financial advisors might suggest that you invest all into precious metals or all into one singular stock, and they want you to put all of your eggs into one basket. Another trademark of a poor financial advisor is when they don't have good transparency with you. They don't share about the fees. They're not really open and outright and honest with how they earn their money or any conflicts of interest. Or if you ask follow-up questions, they only half answer them and don't fully answer them. And another red flag to look for is when they are promising unrealistic returns for your overall investments. They might say that they promise that they can out-earn the market, they can make guarantees about it that don't actually have anything to back them. Multiple studies have shown that even incredibly smart investors rarely outperform the market. So instead, just keep up with the market by investing in the S&P 500 or total market index funds, and don't let them suggest a strategy that they believe will work to earn you more money. And then this red flag is a huge red flag. If they are pushing insurance products your way, then they very likely do not have your best interest in mind. Often they are pushing unnecessary whole life insurance or annuities, cash value life insurance. And again, the reason why is because they earn a high commission off of these products. And I definitely fell prey to this as a new grad PA alongside my husband, where we had whole life insurance policy because they literally sold it to us and made it sound like such a good deal. We were too naive at the time and were too trusting in this quote unquote financial professional. And in the community of PAs that I'm currently working with alongside of another PA who started it in the financial independence space, we are seeing so many new grad single PAs that have whole life insurance policies because they were sold it as well. And if they are single, they're not married, they don't have kids, do they need life insurance, period, much less whole life insurance? Whenever you are mixing investments with insurance, that's usually not a good mix. Other red flags included loaded mutual funds, or again, individual stock investments that they recommend. And another big one to look out for is market timing, where they suggest, okay, now let's buy. Okay, now let's sell. The market is up. The market is down. Again, that goes back to churning, where all of those transactions tend to have fees with them, and those fees end up on you to bear, meaning that you earn less over time within your investments. So if it has come to the point where you feel as though it is time to break up with your financial advisor and overall fire them, end your working relationship and move on, what are the steps that you need to do? The first is you want to read your contract's fine print. Often when you are working with your current financial advisor, you signed a management contract at the beginning or other form of agreement. So pull up your copy that you have and review it and see if there's anything concerning or how you can end and terminate the contract. Sometimes an email suffices. Sometimes you need to send them a signed letter. It all just kind of depends upon how it's set up. The next question you need to ask yourself is, are you going to be managing your own finances, or are you going to be paying a true fiduciary financial professional to be taking over your finances instead? I'm an advocate that most of you out there can absolutely manage your own finances because it is a whole lot easier than learning medicine. The next thing that you want to do is collect all of your investment records. This is similar to if you were transitioning from a clinic in one state over to a clinic in the other state, you would request your medical records to be sent over. Whether it's for your records or your future financial planner's records, you want to get all of those copies. When you are ending working with your financial advisor, you also need to decide what you want to end up doing with your different types of investments and portfolio. You need to decide where you want to transfer it, or if it's not that much and you just want to cash it out, then that is an option as well, depending upon if it was a whole life policy or other types of quote unquote investments. But you want to make sure that you understand any penalties, any fees associated with ending a contract or a policy that's in place. So let's say that you aren't going to be transitioning over to a new financial professional, and instead you are going to be managing your own finances. How do you actually fire your financial advisor? How do you end the working agreement? I hear all the time from the PAs that we work with that they work with a financial advisor that is a family friend or relative or someone that they really like or really trust, and they just feel too bad to end the agreement with them or feel like it would not be a fun conversation. They don't want to be confrontational. Well, here is a hint for you. You actually do not have to meet with them face to face and have a discussion with them to fire your financial advisor. Instead, if you are moving over to a different financial advisor or a new custodian or brokerage company for your assets, you can enlist the help from them to get your retirement account funds sent over or your other investments sent over to them. Or if you are going to be your own financial advisor going forward and don't have anyone to be able to do the dirty work for you, then you start by typing up an email or sending them a letter. Again, you absolutely do not have to meet with them face to face. You don't have to call them. And I would frankly keep the content in the written notice very, very short and very practical and to the point. You don't need to go into any details about why you are doing this or the fact that you feel like they've been scamming you and ripping you off over the past several years. It is not the place to voice your frustrations and type up a really lengthy, angst-filled letter overall. Rather, you could say something along the lines of, I appreciate your time, and I wanted to notify you that I will no longer be continuing with your services as a financial advisor going forward. And again, just keep it really, really simple. Many financial advisors that sell whole life insurance or mutual funds that are expensive or other types of brokers, they very likely will try to contact you, reach out to you, and try to do a sales pitch all over again to continue your business. And again, that's a great opportunity to be very simple in your reply and say, no, thank you, I'm not interested at this time. And once again, in the future, if your finances really do become complicated or you are actually nearing retirement and need to decide your overall withdrawal strategy and feel as though you need help and support with that, then finding a good financial professional will be essential. And a couple of the key things to look for are they fiduciary in all aspects? Are they fee only, meaning that they charge only for the services that they do, the time that they spent to help you, and they are not receiving commissions or collecting on expensive fees from their mutual funds that they're trying to sell you or their annuities that they're trying to sell you. So fee only and fiduciary in all aspects. And then there are a few different designations you could look for, such as a CFA, Chartered Financial Analyst, a CFP, Certified Financial Planner, a CHFC, Chartered Financial Consultant, and a Personal Finance Specialist, which often are CPAs/PFSs. And down the road, if you decide to meet with one of these solid type of financial planners, you might only meet with them a handful of times and get a plan for the next several years going forward, and you may not use them for several years because you can implement the plan yourself. So again, you're really paying them for the time that they spent analyzing your situation and giving you a proposed plan. As usual, I hope you found the information in today's show helpful. And if you know someone who's on the fence about whether or not they should fire their financial advisor, or maybe you're thinking about it because you have become empowered to manage your own finances, take the time to share this episode with those who you think it would help. Thanks again for taking a listen, and I'll see you back here soon. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope that you decide to continue to join me along this journey of becoming a PA the FI way. Please take a moment to press the subscribe button on the platform that you are listening to this on, but more importantly, consider sharing with another current or future PA that could benefit from the information that we reviewed in this episode. Take care and have a great rest of your day. Until next time.